And yeah, interesting. Ooh, well, that certainly got me excited for the new album, which will be out in March. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. I'm a flute player from Hull, East Yorkshire in the UK, and I'm back with another reaction. Now, this time I am so excited, even more than usual, for this one, because yes, I couldn't resist reacting to the brand new, what will be the first single from the Jethro Tull album 2025, yes! Now, those of you who follow me and follow my channel know that I'm not only a massive fan of Ian Anderson and the band and everything that he's done, but I've also been quite heavily influenced as a musician and a flute player thanks to this man. So anything that he does and releases is a pretty big deal for me. And yeah, if Ian, if you do ever see this, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your inspiration, and yeah, and it's so amazing to see you not only producing more music but to be touring still as well. So we have had a little bit of information so far about this and the forthcoming album, and I'll give you a few Flutifull facts on that now. So after two new consecutive Tull albums released in 22 and 23, this will be the new studio record releasing on 7th of March 2025, consisting of 9 new tracks varying in length from 2.5 minutes to almost 17 minutes, which is very exciting, isn't it? It does say that this is an album of mostly full band music. Amongst the musicians featured are former keyboardist Andrew Giddings and drummer James Duncan, along with the current band members David Goodyear, John O'Hara, Scott Hammond, and making his recording debut with the band, guitarist Jack Clark. The title track is called, no, sorry, not the title. Is it the title track? Yes, it is the title track. Is called Curious Ruminant, which is just fabulous. I just love those two words, curious and ruminant, and putting them together is just, I don't know, there's something wonderful about that. Anyway, and this will be the second track on the album. It is 6 minutes long. Now, there are a few more little details over on the Tull website as to the backstory to this album, but it's only tiny, so if you want to go and explore that, then I will let you do that. But I cannot wait to hear this. This is the very first time that I'm hearing this, so you're going to get my first time reaction. So here we go. Okay, I am going to stop it there because it opens with the flute. Well, it opens with the piano. And the only other track I think that I can think of from Tull that opens with the piano, of course, is Locomotive Breath, which is such an iconic opening. So yeah, we open with solo piano, and instantly just got such a mysterious feel. It kind of started quite stark, and then there was the guitar came in and it kind of brightened up, and then it went a little bit not darker but kind of unsettled, and then we get the flute. Now the flute just adds to that. Brilliant, just gorgeous. But a very sweet tone. You know, there's no singing and playing, there's no rough bits around the edges there. That was a very, very, very controlled, sweet flute sound. So, I don't know. I don't know what to... Yeah, just intriguing, isn't it? Just a really, really intriguing opening. You don't know where it's going to go. So I just wanted to give my thoughts on that before we hear any of the vocals, because yeah. Ooh, okay, are we ready? Here we go. I'm just going to stop it again there because there's too many things in my head, and yeah, there we go. Right, let me talk a little bit about the song itself, because I think what I want to do is try and relate the flute in this to the song itself. So this is clearly a song about somebody's inner world, and I know Ian Anderson, he's a very deep thinker. He likes to express his opinions, and I think the Zealot Gene album indeed was definitely him kind of going, this is what I feel about certain things. But he also has said before that he feels that it can be difficult nowadays because we are so opinionated, and we do feel the need to express our opinions to the nth degree. And I think that's what this song is about a little bit. He's talking about having a rich inner world, being influenced and thinking about questions like why are we here, and being influenced by philosophers and psychologists, and the tone of it to me is him kind of saying that can be an amazing thing. That's the really important thing, to have kind of a rich inner world. But at the same time, it can be very, very confusing. And I think there's a line in it saying about, 1 minute I'll think this and then I'll change my mind. And I can really, really relate to that personally. And I think it's a brilliant point to make. Is that, really, do any of us know why we're here and what we're doing? And we can change our minds. There's so much out there now that we feel like we have to have an opinion on something. And just a great topic to think about. I think there's so much in the lyrics, and I'd need to go back and listen again to really unpack that. But that for me explains completely this kind of real where we're going musically. There's a bit of this, there's a bit of that, and it's all kind of blended in together, and that is just so clever. And the fact that is happening, I mean, the first time I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that, but I'm also hearing something that is quite catchy. There's catchy bits. There's a great riff in there that the flute gets to play. And I'm already kind of having a bit of a rock out to it. And it's catchy. It's kind of catchy in a good way, not catchy in an annoying way. So that's incredible. How you do that in a song blows my mind, really. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the flute. So the flute is not heavy in this track at all, like it wasn't at the beginning. And I think he's maybe using the flute to represent the kind of comforting feel from having that kind of rich inner dialogue. Whereas the guitar, there's quite a heavy guitar in there, great sound. So the flute's quite light. There is a little bit of singing and playing in there, I think, or a little bit of flutter tonguing at one point to give it a little bit of edge. But it's quite held back, and it's quite low in the mix as well. The flute is not prominent in this, but I don't know. Would I want more flute in it? I'm not sure. I'd have to listen to it more. But it's carefully thought out. Carefully thought out, the flute part. It's not just like, okay, here's the flute. It's punctuating, and in that section with the guitar, and just little kind of poppy little staccato notes. That's quite unusual. I don't think I've heard any Ian Anderson track that kind of does that. So yeah, it sounds like he's exploring the flute in a different way here, to it just being kind of, okay, I'm rocking out on the flute, which is interesting. The other thing I wanted to say was that first flute section that we got there. Those bends. He's got a very, very sweet, controlled sound in, I think it sounded, I've got my flute here, it sounded like it was in just about in the third register, so probably something like a D. And the really, really, really well-controlled pitch bends there, which is not easy to do. It's really not easy to do, and I enjoy playing on a slide head joint, so that means I can bend notes really, really easily, and it's one of my favourite things. But Ian Anderson doesn't. He plays on a regular head joint, so everything that he's doing to slide is either controlled by his lips or controlled by the air. And to do that when you're producing a very, very sweet, controlled sound is pretty hardcore. So I love that. That was awesome. Right, let's continue on. And there it is. It's got a very similar ending to Zealot Gene, hasn't it? And it's one of those that just kind of has this random ending, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Definitely the flute is being used as this kind of sweetness, this kind of the talks about daffodils and other things that are very sweet and pleasing, and the flute, I think, is definitely representing that, whereas we've got that heavier guitars and and just changing the music, just sudden changes, which, yeah, just for me, really kind of expressing what he's trying to say here, and yeah, I can totally kind of understand it. Richard, it reminds me of another Tull song, an early Tull song, where he's talking about, oh, which song is it? Tull fans will know what I'm talking about. It's where he's saying about being away and then he wants to go home, and then when he's at home he wants to be on the road. Like that juxtaposition of having two kind of feelings within you, and wanting them both, but they are totally opposing. That's kind of where we're at here. And I think this is very cleverly done musically, very, very clever. And I'd need to go back and listen again to really get everything that's going on. But even on first listen, that just hits you. And wow. And like I say, great to hear the flute used in a slightly different way, not as heavy, still got that edge, still, got that Ian Anderson sound, but quite sweet and controlled. And yeah, interesting. Ooh. Well, that certainly got me excited for the new album, which will be out in March. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you excited for this album? Don't forget, this could, I hate to say this, but this could be the very last Ian Anderson Tull album anyway, because he did say that at one point. I think that he was going to do one more after Rock Flute. So yeah, let me know if you think this will be the last album, and if you're excited for it, and if what your expectations are. I'd love to know down below. And yeah. Well, there we are. Oh, I can't quite believe it. I'm very excited. As you can probably tell. Right. If you enjoyed that, then do not hesitate to check out my other Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson content. I've got a few more reactions and quite a few covers now that I've done, which have really helped me to explore the Tull sound in a little bit more detail. And it's just been my absolute pleasure to put those together and to bring that music to a wider audience. So if you're not familiar with those, do go and check them out. I also am available to play those for you live on my weekly live stream. So if you want to come along, join my fantastic community of like-minded folk, of which there are many Tull fans in there. And you can request for me to perform those live, and I'd love to do that for you. So thank you for watching till the end. I hope you will join me again soon. Take care, and above all, make sure you stay flutifull. Thanks, folks. Bye for now.